welcome in. Thank you for joining me always. My name is Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we are going to look at your energy for the next couple weeks. So let's get into it. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Get the juices flowing. Grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a beverage, whatever suits your fancy. Kick back, relax. We will start the reading with an energy cleansing. I finally got my sage in. It's actually soaked in dragon's blood, which I really love because it amplifies that protection from negative energies. There's a lot going on right now in the collective with Pluto in retrograde, Pluto moving into Aquarius. We're ending some major cycles, some big cycles in our life. And that process, especially if it's things that we didn't anticipate or expect, can be incredibly humbling, right? So, and there's kind of just like this negative undertone as well in the collective right now. And I feel like it's coming up from that space of resistance. People, places, and things that aren't really accepting the changes. So be mindful. That's why I got the dragon's blood, because I thought it would be good for our readings. Amplify any protection that you need. This is also a great time to set your own intention for the reading. If you have questions that you want Spirit to answer or certain messages that you want to come through, right now is a great time to set that intention and then just be open to receive. All right, Leo, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure love and grace. I release anything that is not serving our highest and best. Fear, doubt, insecurity, lack of worth, lack of value, anger, frustration, abandonment. Allow us to remove that energy, to be open to receive the highest and best messages. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Divine love, we all need that. Amen. All right, let's get into it, Leo. So this is actually my second time recording this. I made it pretty much the whole way through and had a video malfunction, as happens. And what I was hearing, what I was speaking about, even just in the beginning of that reading, what I'm channeling is that value of resistance for you. So as I'm recording, side note, these are always timeless messages. If you find them, if they resonate, definitely just use your discernment. If it comes to you, it's meant to you. If you vibe with it, it's meant for you. Spirit has messages in that space. It doesn't matter, right, when specifically you're watching it. So when I'm recording it in real time, however, the Sun and Venus are square to Saturn, and the Moon is square to our North Node. So it really talks about the places that we're finding resistance against making that change, right? The things that are taking us out of our comfort zone, or we really just have to change because it's time, right? There's no use, there's no purpose for it in our life anymore. And we just want to hold on to it because it's comfortable or it feels good or, it's instant gratification is what I'm hearing. So Spirit really wants you to take a step back, look at those places. Look at the ways, what I'm hearing with this is the ways that it's distracting you from your passion, from your purpose in life. We find it's so easy modern day to find distractions, coping mechanisms, right? To kind of, tune out from the day, from all the activity, all the things that are on our to-do list. At the same time, as much as sometimes our soul needs those spaces, we want to make sure that we're not engaging or indulging in things that are keeping us from what make us passionate, what make us excited to live life and experience the beauty that is all around. there is this energy of creation that's coming through for you. I feel like you've lost connection with your passion or your purpose. You might feel hints of it here and there, but I feel like when I'm looking at it energetically, it just looks like there's so many things piled on top. It's like a laundry basket. That's what it reminds me of. The bottom's folded, but the top is just, the laundry that just came out of the dryer. Can you tell I'm a mother? I talk about laundry, right? So that's that value where spirit, I'm hearing connect the dots, right? There is this element of you're on one side of the bridge and you have to make it over the bridge. I'm seeing fortune and I'm seeing abundance. I'm seeing wealth coming in for you. But as long as you stay on that one side, it's always going to be limited because it's functioning more out of ego. It's functioning more out of like, I got to make money, or I got to have this or that, or whatever that is for you. Use your discernment, as we talked about. But it is something that you have disconnected from. This card came up in the previous reading. So Spirit wants you to reconnect. Spirit wants to take some time to go within, to understand who you are and how that manifests in the world, how you can actually make something out of it, right? I love that this waxing crescent has roots and it's also bearing fruit. Not only fruit, but butterflies, which really indicate transformation, rebirth, rising into, like I want to say rise again, rise above, but it's in a more beautiful and powerful way. It's more authentically you is what I'm seeing. And that's kind of what your heart, your soul is missing right now. Maybe you're not giving yourself the approval that you need. Maybe you haven't allowed yourself to just be honest with it, right? Like, how many things do we try to hide from ourselves? Like the way we feel, the way we understand things, what we want in life, because we put so many limitations on it, right, wrong, good, bad, And yeah, maybe, but in some things for sure, right? But at the same time, life is more gray, right? Life is more about perspective. It's about what we think we deserve, what we feel we're actually worthy of, than it is about doing the right thing, right? Because the right thing is a lot of different things for many people. That's the beauty of the collective, humanity, diversity. All right, so you're coming in as the Empress. You're really concentrating, focusing on your abundance. What are the steps to get there? You feel really empowered. You feel like you're ready for this thing. But at the same time, I feel like you're second guessing yourself. You're doubting yourself. There's this part of you that's coming out that is that limitation. The mourning cloak as the high priestess. Look at that, how that skull is underneath the surface of the wings. To me, that feels like your shadow side, whether that is something you think or believe about yourself, whether it's a certain patterning that needs to be looked at, codependency, using something to distract, to appease, or, just something that you can't get away from, a person, place, or thing, a situation that brings you down, that puts you in this place of kind of letting out, that dark side. I feel like you're trying to evolve from that. I feel like you're trying to grow beyond that. You might have been through something recently where it tried to pull you back in. I feel like that goes back to this, taking time out to really assess yourself, what you're choosing, what options are coming in for you, adjusting, making different choices, actually approving of the opportunities that are coming in, making sure that it actually makes sense for you and for your energy. We have 5 of Cups in your environment. Pandora's box is how it's coming through. Something has opened up in your life that has triggered or forced you towards healing, towards rediscovering this passion. I do get this element of being on a completely different path. And we have 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, that has really presented a different perspective for you. You're seeing things in a completely new way. And I feel like that's part of you where, you know, again, it's the struggle, the fight between your ego and your higher self, the shadow side and, you know, your light, your spirit, who you are. And it's creating, yeah, there has been some shady stuff with this 7 of Swords. It's shady and it's not well thought out. It's created where maybe you were the stronger or smarter party with this Empress. It actually made things messier than what it needed to be. I'm going to clarify this 7 of Swords for us. 7 of Swords is an energy of thievery, lying, deceit. With the large cuckoo wasp, it is talking about that element of naivete, not really thinking things through, not really understanding how to work together as a team, as a unit with this 3 of Cups. Or being really shady and sneaky with friends, people in your community, in your environment. 7 of Cups, okay. I don't know, there's this energy of trying to figure something out. The approach hasn't worked thus far. Or maybe you got little hints of success, but it keeps kind of falling flat. But you keep generating these options, these ideas for what you want it to look like, and it's just not coming to fruition. There's something about this that is being limited, restricted. I would really check in on what your motivation is. What's the reasoning? Are you getting involved with something that really doesn't feel right for you? That if you actually looked at it from an outsider perspective is not something you would approve of, right? Sometimes we have to put ourselves in other people's shoes, other people's position. 7 of Cups, 4 of Cups is talking about how there's this constant, like taking something for granted, you know, not really seeing the opportunity that's going to be the easiest and most successful for you moving forward. And that's where I do feel that limitation for you. It's like, and it's interesting, I'm going to clarify your energy because you're coming through as the High Priestess and the Empress, which are really powerful manifestors, powerful in regards to wisdom and abundance and bringing wealth, stability, security in. Oh, but we have the Emperor. Ooh, okay. So that's really talking about that partnership. We have the Emperor, Empress. So there is a dynamic, there is a struggle that you're dealing with. And again, instead of looking at it from that perspective of friendship, relationship, working together, finding harmony, finding balance, especially if you are in a dynamic that forces you to work with this other person, this other situation. Maybe it's your only option right now. Maybe this is, a stepping stone on your path. But there is a lot of, like I said, this kind of light and shadow energy that's coming through in this dynamic. And instead of just acknowledging it for what it is, like I was saying earlier, making it a little bit more simplistic for yourself, not so stressful, not so difficult. But that's a decision that needs to be made. And I feel like as long as no decisions being made, because you're coming out with this Hermit, Nine of Swords energy. So it's like you go into self-protection mode as this thing continues to develop. But it's like almost like it's not being dealt with, or the way you're approaching it is not changing. And that is your limitation. That is your restriction. And then you're hermiting yourself and getting stressed out about it. And that's a lot to deal with, right? No one wants to feel that way. No one wants to have to go through that energy or those emotions, the ups and downs, etc. But in order for it to change, changes need to be made. Changes need to be made in the approach, in how it's executed, not being so emotional about how things are unfolding, not needing to be the bigger person or the one in control, really assessing that. With the King of Orbs, it's King of Pentacles in the traditional deck. It's changing, like I said, like how you have a lot of wealth, you have a lot of intelligence, wisdom that's coming through in this reading, Leo. And it's something that can actually be used for something incredibly fortunate and abundant. So make sure that you're not putting your energy towards the wrong things in the wrong space. If you continue, like obviously that's up to you, but it's gonna continue in the same cycle. Sorry, that was hard to come out. You'll get the same results. And sometimes, unfortunately, we do have to set aside our ego, our pride, and really look at things from a different perspective. The moon is harmoniously aspected to Saturn right now, so it gives us a good opportunity to just find a little bit more peace in the change, in the challenges, in the way that things are moving. This is messy. And when I see this Tangled card, it just reminds me like just sometimes things are too messy, right? Sometimes it's better to just make peace instead of trying to work out all the little nooks and crannies. Just make peace with what it is, because it feels like an energy from the past. It feels like an energy that you've been dealing with for a long time. Anytime we're in long-term dynamics, a lot happens, right? A lot can happen in life. And this is about you building a more solid foundation for yourself, Leo. With this Nest card, it's the way you support yourself. It's the way you feel good about who you are, what you bring to the table, and your life, right? Like we all need to sustain. We all need to, cultivate an environment, however that looks for us, home, where we feel safe and secure, right? Where we can tap into that divine mama love. We all need love, right? So forget me not. So again, confirming what you are releasing, what you are letting go of. It's hard because you don't want it to be for nothing. I feel like letting go has been a process. It has been really difficult, and maybe even in the way that you're not aware of. But there's always new hope. There's always new beginnings, new inspiration, wishes coming in, wishes being granted. And that's what Spirit keeps saying to you in this reading. It's, I think release is hard, right? Change is hard. It's not something that we as humans naturally gravitate towards. Right? Like our brain is wired to find the most comfortable, stimulating thing. That's why like social media is like an addiction, right? Or whatever. But yeah, it's like spirit, you know, Maharishi Mahesh says this thing about how the only way we can find happiness and fulfillment is being open to the change, because that's what life is. It's the nature to grow. It's the nature to progress. And it's not easy. And a lot of the way this is showing up is it has been really heavy. It is a huge change. We're in that season of Gemini where we're seeing duality in a lot of things, right? People, places, situations, ourselves, and it's humbling. And on top of it, we're feeling a lot of the feels. And so given those circumstances, it can be hard to take a beat, look at ourselves, really reevaluate how we're approaching things. But like I said, don't let it disconnect you from what is actually heart honoring and edifying for yourself. I feel like you know what this is. Yeah, some of you might have to spend some time folding that laundry, uncovering. But at the same time, this is going to be something that is, once you do, it's going to re-enliven you. It is going to re-impassion you, inspire you around what makes you feel happy and worthy and valuable in your life. So, little work to get there, but you got this. Thank you so much for your time and energy. Always, Leo, I really appreciate you. I hope that this helps. I hope it gives you insight and it resonated with you. Definitely drop comments below if it did, or if you just want a helping hand of support. I love to love and be that support, that helping hand. Thank you always for your time and energy. Lots of love and blessings your way.